So hello everyone, welcome to Triaright. This is Pack 365. Myself Sujit. So in this session, we are going to discuss some more interview related questions in our JSON and Pickle model. Okay. So the first question for this session will be okay. So I'm just fast. I just need to comment the previous question. Okay. Now the first question for this session will be write a program to save multiple record into a JSON file. Okay. Now we are just trying to saving some multiple record into a JSON file. Before we are just trying to create some one means in the one string, one dictionary. Now my requirement will be I just want to save multiple employee record. Okay. So record into a JSON file. Okay. Means we are just trying to keep it as okay. So how to do that each and everything we are just trying to see now. Okay, so means we are just trying to save into a JSON file, not a JSON object, guys. Means here we are performing the JSON model as well as the file handling also. Means we are just trying to save that particular things. Okay, so before we are performing anything into our JSON, first we are just trying to import the module. Okay, so here first I'm just trying to import the JSON module. After I'm importing the JSON module, first my requirement will be I want to create my own multiple employee record. So here I'm just trying to take some IDs and name. Okay, means multiple record I'm just trying to take. So here I'm just trying to take as employee, and here I'm just trying to take inside a list and in the form of our dictionary, because in the key value pair I'm just trying to store, because JSON will be accept all the data in the form of our key value pair. Okay, means must you need to give key and value. If you are providing only key, it will be give you a error. Okay, so here I'm just trying to do the same thing, and for employee one I'm just trying to keep it as Sujit as the name, and for here I have one data, then I'm just trying to create some more data, means multiple records. So here the next one will be ID, and here I'm just trying to keep it as 2. Okay, so next one will be name. Okay, so here I'm just trying to keep it as the name as Kumar. Okay, now the next data will be ID. Okay, ID 3, and here I'm just trying to keep it as a name. Okay, and here I'm just trying to keep it as Kiran. Okay, these all my multiple data that's available in my Python data. Okay, now my requirement will be I am just trying to converting into JSON object into a file. Okay, means we are performing the file handling. Okay, so we know that if I try to performing any file handling operation, first we are just try to open that file. Okay, so guys, here we are just try to save that particular thing, means which access mode we are just try to use that. If the file will be already available, if I just try to use the write access mode, so at that time if the content will be available, it will be delete that particular thing. If the file name I'm giving and the detail will be not available, so at that time it will be create. So here also we are just try to create the same thing. So means I'm just try to give as employee.json, because we are just try to save in the form of our JSON format, and here I'm just try to specifying which access mode you are just try to use. So here my requirement will be I just want to save the data, that's why here I'm just try to performing our write access mode. After that this open function will return a file object. So here in a variable I'm just try to keep it as okay. After I'm getting the file object, now my requirement will be I just want to converting our Python data into our JSON object. Okay, so how to convert? We have two methods. Either we can use our dump method or we can use our dumps method. So here I'm just try to performing our dump method, because here we don't need to converting that, then we are just try to write, means at a time I'm just try to write. So means here I'm just try to performing the dump. Okay, if I try to performing the dumps, means we are manually we are just try to writing the data into the file. Here we are using the dump, means internally it will be adding all the data. So here it will be take the first the content. So the data available means the multiple data that's available in my employee variable. After that, here it will be taking one more mandatory argument, that is called our file object, means which file location you want to keep it all the data. So here my requirement will be I want to store in my employee.json. So guys, just see in my JSON folder there will be no file name will be JSON means employee.json. Okay, after that if I try to see as a pretty mode, then here you can use our indent method. So here I'm just try to keep it as indent as 4 means 4 spaces. Okay, after that if I'm just try to run this one, so guys just see if I just try to run this one first, it will be showing all the data means it will be taking all the data and it will be checking all the data will be stored in the form of our key value pair or not. Okay, so here if every data will be stored in the form of the key value pair, here that's why here no error will be come. Okay, so guys just see if you see before we don't have any file name employee.json. After I'm running the things, the employee.json will be there and the data will be form of our pretty mode means we are using our indent method. That's why the data will be showing in this format means the 4 spaces means everywhere if you see the 4 spaces will be there. Okay, so this is the way we can adding our multiple employee record into a JSON file, not a JSON object. So guys, the difference between our JSON file and JSON object will be different. Means in this JSON file, there are multiple JSON object. Okay, so this is all about for this question. Okay, now we are trying to see a new question for this session will be write a program to read JSON file and filter employee record means we are just try to keep it this thing. Okay, means we are just try to perform in some condition also. We are just try to read the data as well as the filter the condition means we are just try to performing some conditional operation also. Okay, so here I'm just try to write a program to read JSON file. Okay, so JSON file and filter employees. Okay, filter employees. Okay, filter the employees by the condition. Okay, condition. Okay, now first we are just try to import our JSON module. Okay, so here I'm just try to import the same thing. So JSON. After I'm importing, so my requirement will be first I need to read that means we are just try to use our file handling concept as well as the read access mode because we are trying to performing some operation by the help of our filtering condition. Okay, so here I'm first I need to open a file. So how to open a file? First we are trying to perform our with keyword then open function, and here you need to provide your file name. So here my file name will be employee.json. After if I try to provide your read access mode, it's fine. By default also it will be taking. Okay, that's why I don't specify that particular thing. So after that, this open function will be return a file object to store that. So here I'm just try to keep it as file object. Okay, after I'm getting this, now my requirement will be first I need to read that. So here I'm just try to read the all the content. Okay, so here I'm just try to take one more variable that is called employees, and here I'm just try to JSON dot load. Okay, so here the load will become, and here you need to pass your file object means we are just try to get into our Python data because we are try to filter condition, applying filter condition. We cannot directly apply the condition on our JSON object. That's why here I'm just try to read the data after that. Okay, now here I'm just try to performing the filter condition as the employee ID will be greater than 1. Okay, means we are just try to keep it as those employee who have greater than 1. I want to get all the data means here I'm just try to keep it as filter data. Okay, so how to do that? Here we are using our list comprehension. If I try to performing your programming also, it's fine. I want to run into a single line. That's why I'm just try to performing the same thing. Okay, so as of now, all the data we are entering into this file, these are okay. Now in this employees I have all the data means I want to run that loop, then only I can performing the ID will be greater than 1. Okay, so here I'm just try to performing first. I'm just try to run a for loop. Okay, so for employee in employees means I want all the detail, or we can say that each and everything. So here I'm just try to performing employees. Okay, employees means here what I am just trying to print those employee having the employee ID greater than 1 means every time I'm just trying to run the employee name. So here I'm just trying to print as employee. Okay, from this employee I'm getting. After I'm getting this, now I'm just trying to performing the condition that those employee ID having greater than 1 means here after I'm writing this, here I need to performing the if condition. So here I'm just trying to why I'm giving the if, then inside this here I'm just trying to performing ID because we are getting all the data in the form of our key value pair. Means after I'm getting this, I need only ID. I don't need the name because I'm trying to filter the condition based on the ID. So here I'm just trying to performing if the employee ID will be greater than 1. Okay, after I'm getting all the data will be stored in my filter data. So now my requirement will be I just want to print the data means the data which I'm getting from the filter data means here my expectation will be I just want to print the employee ID 2 and my employee ID 3. So guys, just see here if I'm trying to run this one, so here it will be give me employee ID 2 and name Kumar and employee ID 3 and name Kiran. Why I'm getting all the name? Because here we are directly run that for this employees, because in this employees all the data will be storing in the form of our key value pair. That's why here it will be showing like this. Okay, so this is all about our different type of question that's available in our JSON module. Now we are trying to see some pickle example, or we can say that interview question. Okay, so the first question for this one will be write a program to store and load. Okay, store and load a tuple. Okay, tuple using pickle. Okay, means my requirement will be I want to take a pickle and I want to store into means I want to take a tuple and storing into our pickle. So every time before like this our JSON module we are just try to import the pickle also. Now here I'm just try to take a tuple means how to represent our tuple by the help of our square bracket. So here I'm just try to take some numbers. Okay, in the form of our square bracket. So here I'm trying to take 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 and 60. After that, here my requirement will be I want to converting into our pickle means we are just tried to open a file and performing some operation. So at that time we are just tried to open that particular thing. So with open means here we know that pickle will be taking all the things in the form of our bytecode means here we are using our write binary, because if the file will be does not exist at that time I just try to create. That's why here I'm just try to pass fast my file name. So here I'm just try to take as tuple dot pickle. Okay, means pkl. After that here I need to specify my write binary, and here the open function will be return a file object. So here I'm just try to take this file object. So means first I'm just try to converting our Python data into our pickle. So here we are using our module name, or we can say that pickle module, then the method name called our dump. Okay, means we are just trying to convert the thing. So first it will be taking the data, which data you want to convert. So my all the data means the tuple data that's available in my num variable. After that, in which file location you want to store. So here my file location will be f object. As of now we are able to converting into that. Okay, so now if I try to read the data, so at a once also we are just try to do that. So with open means every time if I just try to read also, here you need to specify the particular means as of now we don't have any tuple.pickle, but still we are just try to performing, because when the Python module will be running at the time of 150 line, it will be create a file, and at the line of 54, it will be taking that particular file. Okay, so here we are just trying to read the data. So here we are using our read binary, and here I'm just trying to store in my file object, means, or we can say that f object. So now here I'm just trying to keep it as my result, and here I'm just trying to performing as my all the data, or we can say that loads. Okay, means all the data are being loaded. Okay, means into our file object. Okay, means whatever the data will be available, because whenever I'm just trying to read all the data, it will be storing in my file object only. Here we are using my load method, means we are don't need to write, or we can say that read that particular thing. We can directly read the content from our file object. Okay, now I'm after all the file handling will be done. Now I'm just trying to see all the data which will be converting into or not. So now I'm just trying to run this one. So first it will be showing that there will be no error. That's why here if you see here, there will be a new file will be there, people.pickle. Now if I'm trying to run this one, so here it will be showing that the file will be not supporting. So means you are just tried to click on my open anyway. Means if we are just trying to see, we cannot understand what I'm just trying to run there. Okay, after I'm creating, means we can know that the tuple data will be converting into pickle. Now if I'm trying to again converting our pickle into our Python object by the help of this file object, we can get this. So if you see here, at that time when we are creating this table, it will be showing 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. After when we are just try to converting from our tuple, or we can say that tuple.pickle, means this bytecode, we are able to find all the data that we are expecting. Okay, so that's all for this session. In the upcoming session, we'll try to see some more interview related questions that will be purely based upon our pickle model. Okay, so thanks for watching. Triaright.